Hello. Today is week 5 of the North American Online League Season 13. We have three very interesting games to show. Let's take a look. If I am not mistaken, this will be the last round of the Season 13. So, join Season 14 and see you guys in the next one. Okay. First game we have Struggle Bus versus Grace. Okay, let's see. Struggle Bus, he runs a Twitch stream, that much I know, but other than that we have seen a couple of his games, but not too much then. This is a very common opening. This is a splitting the map, splitting the board kind of an opening. Should be okay. Generally speaking, white prefers to not have this position and invade. Okay. The normal approach is to divvy up the corner as much as possible, which would mean something around here. So this move is a little bit unconventional, but it will accomplish that invasion task. The next move is going to be a bit more difficult, and right now white has invaded, but black has gotten a very efficient corner. A normal 2-space extension would run into some not so comfortable amount of space. It's not wide enough, not plentiful enough eye space to be comfortable. Another move such as a jump is not going to surround any territory for white, and this also, before we saw a small base, now this one does not even have any base, which would mean that white will need to take care of this group more and more in the future, which is not very good. Let's see, so black attacks. Okay, this is how you see attacks form. This is also how most players tend to go for attacks. This is okay. The most important thing when you play these kinds of moves is to make sure that you are efficient and doing something important with your moves at all times. And in this case, black is building the bottom, so this is should be very reasonable. In the game, white does make a few more attaches. So attaching into your opponent, it's like hugging your opponent. It has a very good effect of engendering a lot of traded moves, which means that one player plays a move, the other player plays several moves all together. So this benefits white because white needs stones in order to make the eye space. This also helps black because more stones around the area is black taking more territory. So both of these are both sides are getting what they want. Here, shape-wise, this kind of a peep is very good. We can't see the screen. Aha, yes, that makes sense. And I turned the volume down so much that I didn't hear the screams of the audience. No worries, the screen is coming. The screen is coming. The screen is here. Okay. If you guys are watching the rerun in the video, don't worry. The screen is here. We are ready to continue. So the beginning of the game was a half and half board, dividing up the board kind of an opening, which is reasonable. Generally, white is the first one to disrupt this kind of a balanced position. White does invade. Usually, we tend to want to invade in a divvying up the corner more kind of way, which is in the corner. You guys already know this. So when this kind of attachment fight occurs, usually both sides have something to gain. Whenever you feel like you're not gaining as much as your opponent is, when you get that nagging feeling that you're not getting as much as your opponent, then it's time to put a stop to that, and so on. So here, both sides have reasons to be happy, reasons to be sad. For white, if you feel like black is surrounding more value versus your moves, then you want to put a stop to this right away. And a few ways to do it: sacrifice a stone, make this kind of defensive move and then move on, or just simply move on yourself and then make yourself some territory, such as with this kind of a move. We can see some small amount of territory and ice space being made. Okay, so in the game we talked about this peep-looking move, and this would be a good way to achieve a lot of threat against the opponent while also strengthening ourselves. In the game, the simple connect is a very strong move, but it does not put that much pressure on the opponent. For the same kinds of reasons, when black plays this move does not threaten the c6 and the d4 white stone as much as another move such as invading the corner or attachment. And also, another move at c12 will threaten the d14, the fourth line stone, more. So I would prefer to see this move happen instead of the game move, because we're not able to threaten and damage the corner very much. Okay, fighting occurs, and here, this is a very, very good and powerful technique being displayed. So the fighting here is all cut up over here. For the normal white trains of thought has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but something like this, and we can see that black has the corner totally captured. 2 white stones are being captured. So before white continues to fight over there, white first makes another stone here, and for example, now that one f4 stone will help white in this kind of a surround. In this kind of a case, white captures black. So that's white's plan, and so it's a very, very good and common and powerful technique. Give yourself some preemptively, give yourself some helping stones before the fighting starts. Very, very good ideas. The next move is aimed at getting even more strength, but at this point, black is feeling enough threat and deals with the black problem directly. So then the evaluation is, can white do a lot of damage to black on the bottom where black ignored white? And in this case, clearly not, because black will be able to go into the 3-3 corner, or keep extending at h3 or h4 honey. And all the black stones in the area are gonna help black's position on the bottom. So in this game, I think white goes a little bit overboard with preemptively making strengths. It was already good enough to getting one more. This is another kind of greedy, and white just was not able to get that second sente move. And so as a result, by black first playing on the outside, black's group is now basically totally connected to the m7, m6 group, and now white is the one that is being surrounded now. And just to mention one more fact, white played this extend at h4 instead of something stronger, because black black had a very, very good position around this. So white, definitely this first fight is going to black in this regard. Okay. Ko is had. This is a very, very good example of white using bounce to his shape, and in the game black connects, which allows white to have half an eye or an eye in Ko over here. Of course, generally speaking, we always want to take the Ko, make your opponent find a Ko threat against you. For one thing, the Ko threat is one less Ko threat that you have to worry about later. Plus, if white plays something like this move, something like this move, something like these moves, these are all losing points. So when you find a Ko, just it's a good idea. If it's an important Ko, it's always a good idea to take it if it's an important Ko. You only don't take the Ko if it's too small. And then again, if it's too small, then of course you will tanuki and play somewhere that is not small right now. So you'll never connect back like this, basically. So white gains a little bit of ice space. Let's see if white is able to survive with this extra ice space. So white somewhat survives. This is a Ko technically, but when black goes after the white ice space, white can cut the black 4 stones off like this, and so white is actually totally alive. Despite this, black should also prefer to capture and have white play another move here at 2 at e6, which is not very important, and this gives black a backdoor here to capture a5. For anything, this is like 3 or 4 points. But this doesn't matter too much. Black plays the invasion, which is pretty perfect. This is I do not see anything that's stronger than the invasion on the top. Right now, the position on the board is still relatively balanced. However, expect black to be way ahead because black has a lot more thickness. None of the black groups are in danger. White's group on the right-hand side does not have 2 eyes, and so now it's a great time for black to invade and destroy the upper side white potential territory. This will create another white group, just another thing for white to worry about. Later on, black can also play b11, and if black can play b11, black can invade, and then anything white does, black has a very comfortable backdoor at this diagonal point. So the game continues. White runs out, black also runs out, and right now we can see that black is clearly very, very adept at fighting because all the weakest black group is now basically connected into the middle, and then white is the one having two groups to worry about. And right now white goes for a very aggressive further invasion. This creates a third group for white. It's very, very dangerous, but this is a good way to contest the win for the game. The downside is very, very clear too. After some very simple moves where black does a very, very good job of strengthening the weakest attacking stones for black, we can see that white continues to be in a lot of danger. The attacking techniques by black in this game was very, very good. The initial attack was not trying to surround white. The initial attack was black simply making a base on the right-hand side, and this base also takes away from white's potential base or ice base on the right-hand side. And the next part was just when white continued on the attack by splitting black up with S6, or making sure that black is split up with S6, black just jumped out into the middle And so every single black move had a secondary purpose or primary purpose, or had a purpose that was strengthening the black positions. And so therefore it's no surprise to see that black has achieved very, very strong positions as of right now. And it's by no accident, as we mentioned, every black move had at least the intention of strengthening some part of the black position. And this kind of intent is something that you always want to add to your moves. Strengthen your weakest attacking stones. That is the attack. That is not like you don't strengthen before you attack. Strengthening is the attack. So after this, white connects two weak groups to form a bigger, still weak group. Black cuts off the right-hand side. This white group ended up in limbo. Is this alive or not? Hard to tell. This is likely alive, something like this. 4. This will make white live. However, living with 2 eyes is not that impressive an accomplishment. Okay, next black goes after the top, and this is the one part in the game where black somewhat falters a little bit, or loses a little bit. Right now, attacking the white group, all good, all good. You guys all know how to attack. If you decide to play on the left-hand side, if black takes the approach of I will destroy all of the white territory on the board and attack whatever is left until white makes 2 eyes, very good strategy. If you do take that, make sure to be invading and then cutting, and then always be cutting white apart. For example, white probably plays here, make a peep, make a jump. White is already in a lot of trouble. And if white also cuts off black, remember this backdoor with 11 that we talked about, and this would be, there's a throw in there, so this would be black succeeding in at least making another white group make 2 eyes. And then you go after the corner, and then only at the end do you go after the big group. This is totally fine. The way that the game was played, black was unable to do any damage to white, and white keeps a lot of territory. If you guys are looking for something a little more powerful, in this 2-space high corner, this is a great move. Peep right here in the, it's like a shoulder hit against the 3-4. You're taking the other 3-4. Generally speaking, white will block you on the top. And here the key move is to play the second line Tiger's Mouse. White will Atari and capture 1 stone, and you can Atari there, and then make an extension. In this case, we can see that black can survive and connect. For this reason, most of the time white goes without that Atari, and the move is to Atari and then play this secondary Tiger Mouse move. Note, white's corner is fairly strong now, so if black can avoid this, black doesn't want to play 11, which can allow white to play 12, 13 peep and think about a counter surround. Anyway, this is a very, very good way to play. If white plays on the outside, we can go into the corner or push white apart. White blocks here, it's almost the same. We can go out, or we can go and make our life on the left. Okay, so in the game, both sides chose a lot of peace over on the left-hand side, and black comes back to attack the main white group. And black does this once again in a very, very good and sound fashion. Black makes sure that the corner is totally alive, and white gets to have half an eye but no second eye. So very, very good job by black in this game. The attacks went very, very well. You could see how black retained control the entire game, And how did he have control the entire game? Black always attacked in the way that was strengthening the black positions. And when the right middle group became fairly strong, the next weakest group, the corner, gets strengthened, and only after black gets enough strength does black go for the kills against white. And even when that happened, black didn't go for the full kill. Black leveraged the attacks into continued invasions and only captured at the end. It's very, very good. Just remember, guys, strengthening your own groups is not something you do before you get to attack. It's not like something you do to prepare for the attack. Strengthening your weakest attacking stones is the entire attack itself. It's not separate. It is the attack. Very good show of this, and getting a big dragon capture just shows how effective that is. Okay, next we have is this right? A 4Q player versus a 9Q player? No. We have T Sutton's 3Q versus Ajo's 3Q. Now, last time I checked this Angel Joe character, I thought she was a 3-dan. So maybe these two players are actually 3-dans in 3Q's closing. Forgive me, let's check, take a brief look at the AGA ratings. usgo.com, click on ratings, you'll find your favorite players, your favorite US players there. Okay, let's go look for Angel Joe. See if we can find a AGA rating. Yeah, there's only one, and it's a 2.44, which means this is a 2-dan. Very, very impressive. Do you think they are, do you think this person is, well, okay, let's see. So anyways, Angel Zhou is heavily favored now against either a 3Q opponent or a 4Q opponent, okay? Don't worry, if she wins a lot of games, she will move up into the next, the next higher up section of the North American Online League. The NAOL fixes these kinds of discrepancies very, very easily. In fact, maybe she lost a few games, that's why she fell down to this. Okay. These are very, very good AI Josekis, totally fine. Pincer is a very active move. It may feel a little more aggressive than usual, but it's for sure not a bad move. I myself, I probably would chicken out and play F2. I describe, I know there's a big discrepancy between my view of my own playstyle and how most people view my playstyle. Most people think I am super aggressive. I feel like I am very, very defensive. Not mutually exclusive, but anyways, just call for all of you guys, find your own styles, find your own ways. This local shape here is favorable for black. The large knight's move is relatively efficient, so just attaching on the other side of this, letting black extend at Q4 is already a little bit bad for white. In the game, black tries to make even more territory, and the common move here is to play this double Hane move. However, in this case, black's strongest moves are to capture the stone clean and then continue to try to have the biggest territory possible. So there could be something worrying for white. But however, whatever the worry is, this extend is not going to be the efficient move, because after black blocks, there is still this cutting weakness. So instead of that, white prefers to play this reverse tiger's mouse, which is a very good technique. This will get rid of the or protect the cutting point, and it would be totally fine. Most of the time, black would not want to play the Atari, and here we can see how the S6 point is much superior to the S5 point. There is no cut at this moment. The connect is also a very common move. It performs the same broadly similar functions to that extent. In any case, black is getting an advantage here. Right now, normally white, this is somewhere between a 3 and 4 line extension. Usually you have heard of the common saying, which is once you can extend the number of spaces, that is one more than your stones, or the length of the wall. So if you have 2 stones in your wall, you can do 3 spaces. If you have just 1 stone, you can extend 2 spaces. Here, white can claim to have 3 stones, extend 4 spaces, but there's a cut, so white actually has insufficient strength in order to do this. White does have a very strong position on the top right corner, so it makes much more sense to lean more towards the relatively weaker part of the white position, which means R9 or even R8 or Q8 would be much, or Q9 would be much more balanced than the game move. Not sure why white decided to add another move here to have somewhat of a redundant position on the top right, but then to have a relatively weak position on the mid-lower right. This is pretty far, for example. If black plays these 3 moves, white would lose the 2 stones, for example. So there is a symmetric beauty to Go, guys, which is if you make your weakest groups strong, and then when you have strong groups, you leave that be. It's sort of like, there's a sense of beauty in that kind of a balance. And if you guys can find this kind of beauty and find this kind of beauty in this kind of balance, it could be a it could lead to a very much more enjoyable game. Okay, whereas this is like a little, not that beautiful because one side is overloaded, over defended, over redundant, and the other side is a little bit weak. Okay. So in the game, black starts attacking the left-hand side white corner, totally fine. However, making this move and threatening the cut against white and then not actually cutting is gonna let white off the hook. Here, the normal move is for black to block. However, I see what black is worried about. He's worried about the push and cut. It's very important in this kind of a shape to treat the 2 stones very lightly and then go after the important stones or the bigger stones on the upper side. Okay, so if black blocked, it would have created a lot of pressure against white, and therefore in the pressure on white, black will also find safety. However, in this game, black falls into a little bit of a trap, which is the defensive mindset trap, which is black is now purely defending and will not be able to threaten white, and this will allow white to grab more territory and so on. Biggest thing right now is to play this move or the knight's move and connect the corner white to the side white stones and make some territory at the same time. Territory, you can see the value in that. Connecting your stones so that they do not die, you can see the value in that too. And after you become very strong, white can then consider how to attack black more and more effectively. Right, so these moves, see, like this shoulder hit is one black is alive inside the corner, so it's not gonna be too bad against black. Because you're shoulder hitting, you're never really gonna be, attacking the black groups that you're shoulder hitting anyway. It's very easy to crawl and take care of the shoulder hit group. So if white is not attacking the top black group very much, this shoulder hit will not be giving white all that much value. Certainly, another big value that we just talked about was the left-hand side. This move does more to strengthen the white group. It connects white to some territory. It makes some territory, so it's good on the territory front too. And of course, it puts more pressure on the black group in the middle. So it does a lot more on all three counts than the shoulder hit. Okay. In the game, there wasn't a bit of an exchange. Even though seems like black expanded to a comfortable corner, these two stones now already provided white with this connection. There's no more way to cut white here. It provided white the connection that white needed for the strengths, and we know that the attack is all about strengthening your weakest attacking stones, and by connecting the top white group to the left white group, white has already done that, and therefore black sort of attacked himself by these two moves. So you don't want to attack yourself. Just tanuki and play somewhere else. This is a very, very, very common problem for most Go players. For me too, I have a very, very strong tendency to start attacking myself by making these territory versus thickness exchanges. Just remember that if you want to attack, you strengthen your weakest attacking stones. So if you make territory and give your opponent thickness, you are attacking yourself. So if you can avoid that, try to find a different way, to take your territory that is not you attacking yourself. Okay, so yes, even though black may think that white came over and did this very powerful attack against black, peep, and then some kind of a surrounding move, and black has a very tough time running into the bottom, which is also a lot of white stones. Just realize that you actually had a lot more control over the situation than you had imagined, and you did have some very good ways to avoid this. Remember, even though it seems like white was the one that attacked black all the time, black actually attacked himself. And if we realized when that happened, we can avoid this in the future. In the game, in a little bit of panic, black loses 3 more stones on the outside and loses this corner. The good news is that black did survive in the middle. However, the bad news is that there were a lot of losses to go around. However, white also makes a bit of a mistake here, and white loses 4 stones. Here, white did not have sufficient strength to save all the stones and had to allow black to capture at least one of the stones. This press is a very common technique for surrounding territory, but this press will go against one other principle in Go, which is very, very common, which is you want to avoid interacting much with your opponent's thickness. And right now, black's thickness is inside the corner. Black is very, very strong. Both sides want to make the opponent play in between their moves and that thickness. So for black, success would be invading inside and have white play next to the thickness. Something like this, and white will not destroy anything, and black will destroy a lot. For white, on the other hand, white would want to have something like this, get black to capture one stone, get black to make these moves, which are between the white move and the black thickness, and black would make very, very small, very minimal amount of territory, while white makes much, much more. So it does not make sense then to play these pressing moves against a very strong opponent position. You may get away with getting black to answer by making these attaches, but if you press here, there's no way for black, there's no way that black is going to answer there. And in the game, black does play the cut. Okay, good. Right here in this part of the board, it's very correct for black to get a lot of liberties and fight with the white group on the outside. In fact, if this is the case, it was very, very much worthwhile for white to avoid the liberty race. So the way to capture then would be to play this one and then play on the top. Even though this looks like a co-situation, by the virtue of having many, many less liberties, white would be fine. And here this peep actually may get rid of one, may allow white to have one extra liberty. Let's see if that comes into play later. Black has 5 liberties, and this did come into play. Black has 5 liberties now, white has 6 liberties. So imagine if this stone did not exist. And suppose white played left it the same way as the game. If black just threw in, white would still be ahead by 1 liberty. Yes, very interesting. Let's see if there was another tenuki. Oh, right. White played this move, g5, which got rid of 1 white liberty. So white was ahead by 2 liberties. White would have been ahead by only 1 liberty. And okay. In any case, getting a lot of centes on the outside is going to help black make his comeback very, very nicely. However, the key to coming back would be to find some way to survive on the middle of the board with this group. It's very unclear right now, but yeah, it does not look particularly like it's very likely to be able to survive. One move, one promising position would be this. If white goes for the Atari push, Atari plays the wedge, plays the throw-in, and then this is a white unable to connect everything home. So this move is sente. This move is sente. This move is probably sente. So we can begin to see some ice space forming, but despite this, I still do not feel like black is going to be able to win, to survive. So the game actually the game continued, and white and black did survive somehow. I was gonna call this for white, but black did survive somehow. The move here is to extend as white here, and then there would be no ko, and the game would end right here, right now. When black did find a ko, black survived. However, it was just not enough because white still captured this on the bottom and destroyed some black territory. So at the end here, white still won the game by 20 points, which is about what white surrounded on the bottom here. So very good fighting spirit by black. But it really does feel like, white being a 2-dan, AGA 2-dan was a little bit overmatched, a little bit of an overmatch against black. I don't know how they ended up at the same league. Maybe black is also stronger than the displayed rankings. I don't know. Yeah, it would be very, very difficult for a 3Q player to beat an AGA 2-dan. I don't know why the displayed rank is 3Q here. Anyways, NAOL do tends to be relatively lower in terms of rankings than usual. So if you guys join the NAOL, be a little conservative in your ranking claims. Like the last person was a 2-dan AGA claiming to be a 3Q. Okay, at the end here we have another 2 set of 3Qs. And of course, it could always be someone else. It could be some other Angel Zhou person. It doesn't have to be this one. And if NAOL adjusts accordingly. So next season, if Angel wins against all these 3Qs, she will move up to the next division, which is the 1Qs and 1-dans, presumably. And maybe also up to the 2-dans, and so it's all self-corrects fairly quickly. So don't worry about that. Just play in the NAOL. Don't have to worry about too much. Like did I overrank myself? Did I underrank myself? Don't have to worry too much. This is a old common Joseki, and the move was for white to cut, and one shape goes like this, and the next move was very scintillating, very beautiful, and this was the human interpretation of the using thickness, and it was really white. 7 is a great move. It's white recognizing how strong black is inside the corner, and therefore white wants to develop as fast as possible, with despite giving up some additional stones. Really goading black into making moves in between the white moves and the black thickness there. Okay, in the game, another response by black is to extend and then block. When white goes for any cut, black Ataris and keeps white captured and should be okay. Right now, in this game, white is able to cut black. So locally, it's white is getting what he wanted. However, white did lose 1 stone, so the local fighting is still going to be somewhat okay for. It's still going to be okay for black. Okay, so here it's very important for all of us to take the stones off of the board. And when white plays something like this, we can play the Hane no problem. When we don't take the stone off of the board, white will get another Atari, which just allows white to have more aji, more use for stones. So this overall is a success by white. But here again, white makes a bit of a judgment call error. Here, black's corner is very, very strong. Black just played d7. Black is very, very strong positions. So next, after your opponent gets very strong positions, the next move is not like the next move is not reducing you. It's not playing peeps like this. It is definitely not playing squeezes like that. The next move is invading. I was gonna say not moves like this one. The next move is invading, cutting white up, and then attacking against both sides. So it's very, very important for white to recognize how much thickness black has and play very, 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 very defensively here. Even this knight's move may not be defensive enough. Okay, so clearly not this knight's move, but when black plays this move, it gives white another chance to fix the weaknesses on the inside. Here, still I just play the thickness move. Right now, if you can make any territory as white on the left-hand side, you should be happy. You do not want to be concerned about making the biggest territory you can make. Imagine the peep and the squeeze, and this move is also a peep against these cuts. This is a peep against this cut. Black, this is another peep. This honey and extend is a cut against the two white hands, the two white sides, and pretty soon white is the one that's going to be cut up and in big trouble. Just play this jump. Play this knight's move. It will be much better. Okay. In the game, black goes for after the top, and white captures one stone. Black takes some territory. All good. Let's see if white is able to find anything here. White does find some things here, and this is actually a huge successful white because black maybe gained a little bit of territory, but what did white gain? White gained this one Atari move, this turn move, and another move. 3 moves in Sente. All these Sentes, now white's territory is relatively secured, and it's super efficient. So white should be very happy. Here, white makes some territory by connecting the lower left corner into the lower side, into the lower right corner. So once again, this is also very efficient, and white is once again very happy. Remember to what we pointed out with the thickness. Right now, white surrounding the bottom is okay, jumping is okay. Play in knight's moves, large knight's moves, attachments, they're all okay. But pressing here, pressing here against black, which is totally alive, is not gonna threaten anything, and this will be very small. And therefore also this move too, by the same token, even if we're capturing a stone, it would be too small. Okay, so black does play a few tanukis, and here black goes for the territory on the right. This is okay, but just remember that, oh my god, huge success by black. How did he do this? Crazy. I see, this is just a code. Just remember, guys, when you do go after your opponent's territory, go after their weakest territory, not their biggest territory. In any case, black finds some success attacking white, cuts off a few stones. Here it's very important for black to Atari and save the black stones. Even though white is able to split black into the right hand side after having captured all these stones by black, black is not, it's still, black is never threatened, and this is a very close game at this point. So in the game, black keeps the right hand side territory, allows white to capture 2 stones, and the game again gets out of hand, or out of the grasp of black. Black at the end fights back, makes a few points in the center. However, by getting back and then getting kind of close, all that black will accomplish is to find more and more regrets. At the end of the game here, because black did such a remarkable job fighting back, capturing white stones on the right hand side and making a big center territory, this just comes back to illustrate the fact black is gonna now think, oh, I came back, I almost came all the way back. If only I had played some more right moves, some more right moves, I probably would have came all the way back. And see how this went from like 6 points to 13 points. If black was able to, do the right decision there, and then make a similar 10-point gain over here by surrounding the middle, black would actually have some moments in the game where black was actually ahead. So Keep playing, guys. We saw some very good attacking in this game. In the first game, we saw some very efficient play and a sort of like a ranking rank, sandbagging, ranking, bullying, which just showcased a little bit of a outclassing of the opponent just by being too efficient, too much more efficient over the opponent. Sort of like ranking pressure. And in the third game, we saw a very peaceful game, but we saw a more aggressive white in the beginning, paying off because black didn't attack early on. However, black realized the importance of going for these going for the fights and going for complications in order to go for the win, and then later made some very good attempts at catching up to white, and however it was just not enough. Just wasn't able to catch up enough. Okay, I think this is the last round of the North American Online League for the season, and hopefully everyone who played had a lot of fun. Remember, if you do join the North American Online League, just be a little more conservative with your ranking, and you'll be fine. See you guys in the next season, and it's a great way to make friends and get to know some of the fellow US players. See you guys in the next season.